Good morning, gratitude. Gratitude is a gift to ourselves, and that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. So, welcome. You can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality.
You are here to contribute through your essence, fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on.
Take what works, ditch the rest, and always stay set to love.
Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Good morning, friend.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I'm so proud of you. I know you're off visiting your daughter for her 21st birthday, and you are literally outside trying to find internet connection, and that is complete and total dedication. And I have so much gratitude for your attitude.
Aw, I love you, best friend. Thank you so much. I was like, okay, I can either do the show from the room, but Emmy is sleeping after actually a very pleasant evening. I thought I should just let her sleep in the day after her 21st birthday and not have the show there. So yeah, I just came outside. I'm sitting in the parking lot here at our hotel and doing the show. But you know what? Like, I'm just so grateful for this opportunity for our podcast. I'm grateful for Emmy and the opportunity that I've had to come out here and be with her. And I thought about this, the greatest gift to ourselves is truly gratitude. When we can just look around and really feel grateful and have gratitude for the things in our lives that are working well, for just freaking heck, this bush, nature, simple things like that. Your awareness and your whole personality just everything changes. And there's a car leaving right in front of me right now. But, there's just so much like joy in your life. And it's truly a gift to yourself. At the end of the day, if there's one thing that we can do, it's to hold gratitude for ourselves and be grateful for everything in our lives. And truly, I think it's a blessing that we give to ourselves and to other people, because when we're happier, yay for everyone else around us, right? Who wants to be around a grumpy person who's ungrateful?
Well, I mean, I honestly feel like part of my thing about my personality is I always really do feel grateful. It's just an automatic thing for me. Not that I'm perfect at it, but so much of it is just my nature. It's really hard, though, when you're with someone to try to get them to see what gratitude and how it can be your greatest gift. And I think that's the challenge is, just the simplest of things, that when you say the simplest things to be grateful for. And I was having a talk with Brooke the other day, and she said, I'm feeling so grateful for this trip you want to take us on. And, I just want it to be so much fun. And yeah, maybe it's not going to be the Ritz-Carlton, but we're going to have such a great time as a family. And I think the thing is, she said, Mom, one of the reasons why I feel grateful is because there's people with a lot of hardship right now. I have a friend who her mother is really ill and going to be undergoing surgeries. And she said, so I just feel super grateful that basically you can have your mom and you can go on a trip, and it doesn't really matter where it is. It's like just that you're together. You know what I mean? And I don't know how sometimes things get mixed up about where you're going, how you're staying, whatever. How do you get to a place to where, and this is just as an example, that you can either be grateful or you could pick the situation apart, and then it becomes such a big problem.
Yeah, I think it really starts. So to answer your question, I think you were asking a question or making a statement, but I think when you're really wrapped up in your own head and your own life and you're super self-focused, like there's self-love and self-care and all of that's really important. But when it's always me, then I think the place to start with gratitude is really looking at the bigger picture. Like, it might be hard for you to look at this bush and say, well, I'm not grateful for that. I don't even care about it. Why is it even here? It's just a nuisance. It's in my way. It's blah, blah, right? So if you can start with the big things, like, wow, I'm grateful that my mom is healthy. I'm grateful that I can go on a trip with her this summer, and I can do something with my sister, with my siblings, with my who, right? So when you can look at the bigger picture of things and you can really sit with the gratitude of that, it softens your heart, and then it's easier to come down off that level to smaller things, and then just find gratitude in just the fact that we're even just alive, and humans and breathing and getting to have these experiences of seeing new places and eating new foods, or meeting new people, and just having
Well, when
these.
I think about just even my granddaughter, when I take care of her, it's constant. It's all day and it's constant. I mean,
Yeah.
when you have a newer baby, and especially at 11 months, they're busy. And you know what? I couldn't be more grateful for this experience. As hard as it can be at times, it's really not hard at all, because it's how you look at it. You know what I
Right.
mean? As I'm just like, if I could just freeze time right now, when I feel that little hand, touch my chest, or, smile at me, or do something new for the first time, you don't look at the fact or it doesn't feel like it's work, because you have such an attitude of gratitude that you're there, and that you get to be such an impression on this sweet baby's
Right.
life.
You
And
know what? It's
that's
not
the bigger
easy.
picture for me. I want her to know from the time she's little till she grows that she is one of the most important things to me in my life, with every breath that I take.
I
You know
love
what I
that.
mean?
And that's how you are with your girls. And I hope that they know that and feel that. And that's how you are with me. That's how you are with Bob. It's like, and I've said this before, Shelley, but one of the gifts that you give to other people is when you are with them, whether it's a client or whoever, you really make them feel super, super, super important. And I do think that you genuinely have gratitude for them, and that energy, that love just resonates off. And it's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being a grandparent. It's not easy owning your own business and having clients that you take care of. And so you can focus on the challenges, or you can focus on the fact that you get to have a granddaughter, you get to have clients, you get to have two beautiful daughters, and this trip planned, and these beautiful things that you get to do. And when you put your awareness there, it truly is that gift for yourself, isn't it? Because you just feel so, it's like a warm, loving, whole feeling, instead of feeling heavy and weighted down and complaining and bitter. And who wants to feel
Mad
those
at the world.
things?
But I guess my question to you, or maybe an idea we could give people out there, what would you say is your first step to even feeling any kind of gratitude? So like if somebody's in a bad space and everything just seems awful,
Mm-hmm.
do you think it's about taking, in some ways, I feel like, I hate to say this, but it's almost like take accountability for where you are right now. Like that's the tough love side of me. Take
Mm-hmm.
accountability to where you are in your life and fix it. And then be grateful for where you at, learn the lessons and go forward, because you are, and your attitude is because of what you've put into whatever it is you're doing. And that may seem harsh, but it's kind of just the truth to me.
Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely uh, even being aware, like really, we talk about this a lot, like living in flow is truly being 100% present and aware of how you're feeling and what energy you're putting out into the world. Right. So like, are you sharing messages of love and joy and gratitude and positivity, or are you sharing messages that are criticizing, are bringing people down, are things aren't good enough?
Judgmental.
Yes, it's like what is coming out of your mouth and what is going through your brain. And if those things are 51% yucky and pull you down, then it's time to figure out how to like revamp that, and how to do something a little bit different, because nobody wants to be around that person. That person is not fun to be. I know I'm not fun to be around when I'm like that. And when I
Yeah.
find myself in that place, one, catch yourself, right? So first, like, oh my gosh, I'm really complaining right now, or I'm really not, I don't have a lot of gratitude right now. And then two, you need to start flipping your attention. So look around. What can you be grateful for? Like, okay, I'm grateful for my iced coffee this morning. I'm grateful that I can be here in Arizona and still have the podcast, with you and do
Exactly.
this morning. I'm grateful that I get to spend a whole extra day with my beautiful daughter, and who knows what adventure awaits us ahead for the day. And that is just, it's fun and it's exciting. Or I could be complaining and like, oh, I got to sit in these rocks in this parking lot. And I got to do this podcast. And, oh, blah, 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 and the kids back home, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on. There's so much to be
Such a
grateful
waste of your
for.
energy. And I think
Yeah.
the thing is when you stop and get out of your own way when it comes to gratitude, you have such a weight lifted off of you. All
Mm,
that stuff and being such in victim mode, I
mm-hmm,
just feel like it's so freeing because the truth is, even if some of your complaining, let's just say, is right, how
mm,
is it helping you?
right, right.
Like,
That's
really,
not
it's almost
useful.
like how is that helping? The better thing to do is acknowledge it's there and make steps to trying to be grateful or to make your life happier. And
Mm,
if you're not willing to get out of your own way, you're going to be stuck where you are. And like you said, then you don't get to feel joy and gratitude for these things. And I think just sometimes when people really get in such a bad place, it's really hard to see that you're stuck. I
yes, you don't notice it yourself. Okay, so here's my question for you then. What would you say to someone, like, what if someone in my house, let's say, now maybe it's someone you live with, maybe it's someone you don't live with, but someone that you probably spend at least a considerable amount of time with or whatever, and they really are in that place of Hoopville, everything's wrong, everything's complaining, there is no gratitude, like you can't do anything right. What would you say to someone who, like, let's say you're the positive, happy, yay, life is good, I'm grateful, but then you're around someone who doesn't have that same perspective? What do you do? How do you
I
handle that
guess
situation?
for me, what I would want to do is have a have a good heart to heart and say, are you open? I'd have to ask permission first. Are
Mm,
you open to, I want to help you. You're a great person. I love you so much and I want to see you happy. And I have a few things I want to say, but I really just need to know that you're want to at least take it in, and that you're not going to look at it as it's not a judgment. This is because I
do
love you.
So do you think that person's like, I mean, and I hear that, I hear you saying that, and I think, okay, my first thought is, yeah, of course, that would be a really great way to
I
softly enter into a conversation. But my thought then goes to, what if they're just like, that's just more judgment, that's just more criticism. Like, even though it's coming with this very loving,
Yes.
soft way, wouldn't don't you think that if someone has that mindset, right, where everything's poop, that maybe they're just not happy? Maybe it's like, hey, partner, daughter, friend, coworker, like, are you okay? It just seems like lately you haven't been as joyful as maybe you've been. Is there something in your life that I can help with or be a support around? I don't know, because I guess at the end of the day, I think, who are those people who truly just complain and are bitter all the time? And then I think, well, there are probably people who are just unhappy, and maybe it's not that they need to be like pointed out, like, wow, you're being really judgmental or you're being really negative all the time, but more like, are you okay? What's going on? Because this is not really you. I don't know. I guess
I
that
definitely think that you're right, and I think what happens is if you don't talk about it,
yeah.
just I think that's a better idea to say, "Are you okay?" and to remind them that you love them, and that if they don't talk about it, it doesn't um, it doesn't help. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't just
that's
you're
true.
just going to drag yourself down and down and down. The problem is that I see a little bit with that is a lot of times people want to blame everyone else. It's
Yeah.
all the circumstances is, you're doing this and this one's doing that. And this friend isn't being there for me for this. And, my
I
job.
know, but like at some point, don't you just look and go, you're the common denominator? Because not everything in your life is bad. It's like, if everything is, then you're the common denominator. And it's a time to take a really hard look. And like you said, it's not easy. It's not easy to look at yourself. It's not easy to truly sit back and go, how am I feeling about life? What am I really grateful for? Do I really embody gratitude in a way that can switch those negative thoughts around so I can be more positive? I don't know.
I just hope in this podcast today that somebody that is feeling, in such a down place, I hope that they can listen to this and even take one little thing, one little step towards gratitude, because it's going to be your only saving grace. I'm sorry. I think if
Honestly,
you can't find some gratitude even in your own crap, excuse my French, you are going to stay where you are, and it is
yes,
not going to get better. And that's not a threat. It's just the way it is.
100%, Shelley, 100%. And
And
I,
life
I
is
I'm a
short. I have to remind people too, life is short. And you have your parents and your grandparents or whoever it is, your kids in your life, and you just don't know. There's no promise for tomorrow. So how you're acting today and how ungrateful you could be with your family, or you're holding a grudge, whatever it is, let it go. Really, let it go.
I love it. And I love you, friend. Thank you so
I
much
love
for
you too.
today. I'm glad it worked out here in the
I know.
parking
And,
lot.
and happy birthday to Emmy. Was it last night that's her birthday, or is it
Yeah,
Saturday?
yesterday, tax day, April 15th. That's her
Oh
birthday,
my
21. I
gosh.
cannot believe I have a 21-year-old. Blows my
You don't
mind.
look it. You don't look it.
I
Well,
love you.
happy birthday to Emmy. I'm sorry I messed up. I didn't even call her. What a terrible friend.
Oh, you're fine. Hey, we're celebrating all day today too, so it's all
Yes,
right. I love you so
I
much. Thank
love
you
you.
so much, friend. And thanks everyone out there for being a part of our show and a part of this community. You can find us at settolove.com. We're here weekday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to reach out, if you're looking for some support in your life, that's what Shelley and I are here for, whether it's coming on weekday mornings or giving us a call, sending us an email, and having a one-on-one chat with us so we can help you through whatever challenges you might be facing. I love you, best
I
friend.
love you too.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Have
Have
a
a good
great
weekend.
day. Bye, everyone. Hit the bell.